evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 15th meeting of the Hoover City Council. I would like to call the meeting to order and ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Council President Lyda.
Here.
Council Pro Tem Posey.
Here.
Councilmember Sweeney.
Here.
Councilmember Driver. Councilmember Murphy.
Thank God I'm here.
Councilmember Middlebrooks.
Here.
Councilmember McClinton.
I'm here and I'm dry.
We have a quorum present, so we will proceed. If everyone would please rise for the invocation to be delivered by Councilor Murphy and for the pledge to be led by Councilor Sweeney.
Thanks everyone to bow their heads. Oh, gracious God, thank you for another day you've given us. I pray that we travel safely back and forth where we need to go, and the travelers that are on the road, protect them, give them wisdom and the patience to drive safely during these challenging times of our storms and weathers. Now, give this body, this council and mayor, the wisdom to make the appropriate decision for the benefit of the city. These are many blessings that I ask in your son Jesus' name I pray. And all that agree say amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several recognitions tonight, so as usual, we would love to invite the mayor up to for a couple of proclamations and some employee recognitions.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. And we do have a couple of proclamations. The first one starts with our own Miss Hoover, Mary Coker Green. She is here this evening with Danny, her mom and dad, Danny and Monica, Uncle EJ, Aunt Luann, and Izzy Walburn. And we would love to present her with a proclamation and have her and her family come up. And City Attorney, if you would, read the proclamation. Let's get her down first. We'll stand right.
Whereas Mary Coker Green was crowned Miss Hoover 2023 on August 21st, 2022 at the City of Hoover Library Theater. And whereas Mary Coker will represent the city during the 2023 Miss Alabama competition in June. The phases of competition include a private interview, on-stage interview, talent, evening gown, and health and fitness. And whereas Mary Coker will make numerous appearances throughout the city and promote her community service initiative called Flip the Switch, a mental wellness campaign, which is designed to challenge the stigma surrounding mental health and emotional well-being, educate individuals on the necessity of developing healthy mental and emotional habits, and engage others in the conversation around mental wellness to cultivate a connected community. And whereas Mary Coker received a $5,000 scholarship for her year of service to the city to continue her education at Auburn University, where she is a junior. And whereas upon completion of a Bachelor of Science degree in agricultural business and economics combined with public relations, she plans to obtain a Master's of Mass Communications. Her ultimate goal is to own a public relations firm specializing in the agriculture industry. Now, therefore, we, Mayor Frank V. Brocado and City Council President John B. Lyda, and on behalf of the City Council and the residents of the city, do hereby present this proclamation to Mary Coker Green and congratulate her on her winning title and role as Miss Hoover 2023.
I just wanted to say a few words of thank you to the City of Hoover for allowing me to serve in this role, and the amount of you who have allowed me to come appear across the City of Hoover. I am deeply honored to be a representative of this city in this capacity. Having formerly lived here, it feels like I'm coming back home. I'd also like to say that as a part of my social impact initiative, throughout the month of May, I'm celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'm going to be visiting the fire stations on Wednesday of this week and then Wednesday and Thursday of next week, delivering and accumulating resources for families in the City of Hoover who are experiencing traumatic events. So if you'd like to come see me, or if you have anything in the City of Hoover for the next 2 months that I'm continuing to be Miss Hoover, I'd love to be a part and get to serve y'all in that capacity. So thank you all so much for all that you've done for me, and I really appreciate it. And I'm walking into Miss Alabama very encouraged to have y'all behind me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have enjoyed having you represent us. You've done a marvelous job. And we have Law Enforcement Memorial Week proclamation. We have Captain Scott McDonald, Lieutenant Josh Wall, Sergeant Tyler Watson, Officer Aaron Hanahana, Patrol Officer Shina Bonham, and Executive Officer Kenny Fountain, if they would come forward, and we would like to present them with this proclamation as well.
Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which that date falls as National Police Memorial Week. And whereas the members of the police department of the city play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception, and the weak against oppression and intimidation. And whereas our police department has grown to be a modern and scientific law enforcement agency which unceasingly provides a vital public service. Now therefore we, Frank Brocato, Mayor of the City of Hoover, and City Council President John B. Lyda, do hereby proclaim the week of May 14th through 20th as Police Week in the city of Hoover, and encourage all citizens to observe the week with law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and do proclaim May 15th, 2023 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who through their courageous deeds have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community, or who have become disabled in the performance of their duty.
The mayor and council are honored to present a proclamation for this Memorial Week. And what you saw tonight before you are 5 representatives of a force well over, I think, 160 sworn officers in our police force. And we could not be more proud of those of you who serve the city of Hoover in this capacity. So we're very grateful and happy to honor you tonight.
And another really nice part of our council meeting, we get to bring in our employees that have served 20 years or more with us. And tonight, we have a number of them here, and we would first like to introduce, with 20 years, Lieutenant Barry Adams, if he would come up. He has his family with him, Krista, his children Leanna and Landon. Certainly you're welcome to come up. Good to see y'all. Right there to see. So Barry was hired in 2003 and was assigned to the Greystone Station. In 2005, he moved to Inverness. In 2014, he was promoted to lieutenant, and now he's assigned at Fire Station number 4. And then that was in 14, and then he transferred to Station 10 in 2015. Barry recently graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Emergency Management from Jackson State University and was accepted into the graduate school seeking a master's degree in public administration. So, you know, that speaks a lot for the types of folks that we have working for us. This gentleman is an officer in our department, a leader in our department, and he's preparing himself. Doesn't have to do any of these things. He was already there. Barry serves us admirably each and every day. He's a great firefighter, a paramedic, does a wonderful job. And we're just grateful to see you continue with professional development like this. It says a lot about you, and it says a lot about our department, and we're grateful for your service. Barry, this is the first time I've done this. You want to give me a good picture of the ticket? That's a good picture.
Yeah, you'll come back.
I'll have it down by then. And we get to the old timers now. How about that? 25 years of service. First one up, Jody Chanel. Jody, come on down. He has wife Misty and Tristan. And he's with Public Works. Jody started in 1998 as a laborer in Public Works. He's a top heavy equipment operator in our department. Something that requires incredible skill, and we recognize that in him. He's enjoyed a lot of success and recognition and has been promoted 6 times over his 25-year career with the city. He's currently the Public Works Supervisor and is an integral part of everything that we do in the city. He literally is, number one, we do a lot of projects in Hoover, and we lean on our Public Works Department to do a lot of those projects because they do a great job. They save us a lot of money. They want to do it right. And Jody, we've always considered our Public Works as part of our public safety personnel as well. And Jody's went out with us on over the last 25 years, search and rescue types of operations. So, you know, when the really bad stuff happens, we all jump in and form as a team, right? We're very grateful for what you have done. You've always had just a fantastic attitude, just a pleasant person to be around. And I appreciate you, and I've enjoyed working with you for these 25 years as well. So congratulations. Thank you. Next, we have 25 years, Elin Glenn. Elin's here with George and Arthur, her two sons, or twin sons, as a matter of fact. What a special lady Miss Elin is. If you know anything about Hoover Library and how wonderful it is, you have to put her name in there somewhere. Elin's worked for the library for 25 years. She's the library communications specialist. All the calendars and postcards and signs that make the library look so good, they're all designed by Elin. We call on her for a lot of other things as well. We're so grateful for that. She's a very creative, innovative type person, has a wonderful vision for things, and just, we call on her for a whole lot. We appreciate it. We lean on her. She assists also, if you've been to any shows at our great theater, Elin is right there and assists with the management of those shows. And she shuttled many a Grammy Award winner around Hoover over the past few years, haven't she? And we're grateful for that. So she is one of the reasons that we have so many performers speak so highly of our venue. And it comes because we do great, wonderful service, and we do great, wonderful service because of people like Elin that pour their heart and soul into it. She shines and she makes our library shine. We're so grateful to have her here for 25 years and hopefully a lot longer. Congratulations to you. Next, we have Tony Nolan in the Fleet Department. He's here with his wife Daphne and grandchildren Ethan and Emma, if y'all want to come up. Tony's been with the city 25 years, and he's an integral part of our fleet management. He literally has his hands on every vehicle or piece of equipment that the city of Hoover owns, and that's a bunch of stuff. Right, Tony? Lots of different things. He's seen the city grow from everything, including our shop, when it was based on Municipal Drive, to now this wonderful complex that we have down on Valledale Road. He's seen the fleet grow from a handful of employees working out of a 5,000 square foot shop to a 50,000 square foot shop, and services 2 cities now, which is kind of incredible and unusual as well. He's looking forward to spending more time with his family, and he enjoys camping and just around the southeast. But I tell you, one thing that he does, that you ever taken your lawnmower or your weed eater or been disgusted with it because it didn't run, and you get there and they don't bring it back for a long time. Well, we have those situations too all the time. He takes care of those, keeps all of our equipment running, and he does it with a fantastic attitude, and we just appreciate all that you've done over these 25 years, and we couldn't do a lot of it without you. Thank you so much, Tom. And our last but not least, 25 years, Captain Marshall Tyler. Marshall's here with his wife, Jessica Tyler, Peyton, Maddie is here, daughter and son-in-law Danielle and Tyler, granddaughter Everly Johnson and Ellie Johnson, mother of Margaret Martin and sister Carolyn Payne. We didn't bring everybody. I got a lot of names there. That's all. I got you. I'm sorry. Well, we're glad that each of you showed up. Marshall was hired in 2011, and he was assigned at Fire Station Number 1. He was assigned to Station 5 as a lead worker on Rescue 41 back in 2011 until 2013. He was promoted to the rank of lieutenant in May of 13 and assigned to Fire Station 4. I had the pleasure of working with him there for a few years as well. Transferred to Station 9 and 15, and was promoted to the rank of district captain. And as district captain, he's one of the 2 relief captains working at each of the districts throughout the city. Marshall, I remember the day he was hired. He come to Chief Bradley's office. He stayed on and he wanted to get to the city of Hoover, and he was proud the day he got hired. And he's done just a really remarkable job and moved up in the ranks and served our city well, and good firefighter and paramedic, and we appreciate all that you do and appreciate your leadership. And I know that you got great things ahead of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. I know Councilor McClinton has a very special guest in the chambers he'd like to recognize. Councilor
Yes,
McClinton.
I do. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd like to recognize David Bannister and his family. If they would come up, please. As y'all know, Mr. Bannister and his family have given a lot to this community, and he's one of our greatest citizens. As he's coming up with his wife, Kelly Bannister, children Lauren Clowers, Taylor Silverman, grandchildren Stevie Pearl Silverman, Holly Elizabeth Clowers, and adopted son Tucker and Stevenson. Now I'll read this recognition. By order of Andy Beshear, the Governor of Kentucky, and the Secretary of State of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, David Bannister has been selected and confirmed to be a Kentucky Colonel. The Commission of Kentucky Colonel is the highest title of honor bestowed by the Governor of Kentucky. It recognizes an individual's noteworthy accomplishments and outstanding service to his community, state, and nation. In a letter to the Kentucky Colonels, the governor back in the day would commission individuals as Kentucky Colonels as a governor's way of recognizing individuals for their service, accomplishments on behalf of others. Mr. Bannister has been nominated and selected by a statewide committee for his achievements in numerous charitable and civic accomplishments. This award is the highest statewide award for recognition of his contributions to Neighborhood Bridges Hoover, Hoover YMCA, Hoover Athletics, all in Hoover, Alabama. Nearly 4 years ago, if you remember, Neighborhood Bridges Hoover was born to serve the needs of over 13,000 children and families of Hoover City Schools. The needs are posted via the 47 Hoover City School counselors and then administered and fulfilled by the Hoover Fire Department and local volunteer advocates. Over 3,600 local children have been helped via support of the 2,360 Hoover residents, with over $530,000 in direct kindness given to date. The Kentucky Colonels are unwavering in devotion to faith, family, commonwealth, and country, passionate about being compassionate, and proud leaders who are gentle to strong will and commitment. Congratulations.
Everyone here, including the mayor. The mayor was instrumental, as well as the city council, in putting this together for the great city of Hoover, and it's helped so many people. Mayor, I want to thank you for that. And my daughter and son-in-law are here, are proud 2006 graduates of Hoover High School as well. Chief Bentley, I want to thank you for all your help with Neighborhood Bridges and the 11 stations and all your staff. You've been instrumental. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Wait, is that a Viking name? Thank you all.
I'd like to recognize former Councilor Joe Reeves. Councilor Reeves, always a pleasure having you in the chamber tonight. Glad to have you here. We will now move to our agenda. Tonight you'll notice there is a regular agenda, no consent agenda, because we did not meet as a body on Thursday night for a work session, so therefore we will take each item individually and have the department representative come up and give us a briefing on each before we move forward. We'll begin with item number 1, minutes from the March 2nd and March 6th meeting. Do I hear a motion for approval of the minutes?
Mr. President, I move for approval of the minutes without reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments from the body on that? Comments from the audience? Item number 1. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number 2 is resolution number 6939-23. We're honored to have Ms. Danielson as our attorney. Ms. Danielson?
This resolution appoints and reappoints certain members to the city's board of zoning adjustment. Particularly, this would be Curtis Jackson for a term of 3 years ending May 31st, 2026. Reappointing of James Brush for 3 years ending on the 31st of May 2026. Jack Marshall for an unexpired term ending the 31st of May 2025. Larry Ingram as a supernumerary member for an unexpired term ending the 31st of May 2024.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution 6939-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Sweeney, have anything to add to what Ms. Danielson shared?
I do not. Mr. Ingram is in the house. If you could stand up. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or other questions from the body? Any comments from the audience tonight? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Mr. Ingram, welcome to BZA. We'll move to item number 3, resolution 6940-23. Ms. Danielson.
This resolution informs ADEM of actions concerning the city's water pollution prevention 2023 annual report for the River Chase wastewater treatment plant.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6940-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Reeves.
Yes, sir. This resolution is, this report is required by ADEM per operating permit for both the Inverness and River Chase treatment plants. Mr. Welch is here if you have any questions about the reports, but the plants are both operating efficiently, and we're very pleased with the status of the job that Mr. Welch and folks at Clearwater are doing at the plants.
Any questions for Mr. Welch on his work here? None from the body? Any member of the public have a comment on the item before the body? Seeing none, we have a motion and second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Item number 4 is resolution 6941-23. Ms. Danielson.
This resolution also informs ADEM of actions concerning the city's water pollution prevention 2023 annual report for the River Chase wastewater treatment plant.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6941-23.
Second.
A motion and a second. Mr. Reeves, same story, different plant.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the gentleman on the River Chase item?
Yeah, just an informational one just for the public, and we just let everyone know the capacity of those two plants.
The River Chase plant right now is 3.0 MGD, and our Inverness plant is 1.2.
All right, and that's million gallons a day.
Yes.
Correct. Thank you.
I knew Mr. Murphy was the only guy that knew, besides you two, what MGD means, so thanks for clarifying that. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Any comments from the public tonight? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Item number 5, resolution 6942-23. Ms. Danielson.
This resolution declares a weed and/or other vegetation, nuisance, and directs the abatement of such nuisance at 1828 Val Green Lane.
Mr. President, I move for approval of resolution number 6942-23.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Martin.
Yes, Mr. President, it's that time of year again where spring showers bring May weeds. And so we are looking at one property here that is overgrown. The good news is we had two other properties set up for tonight. They have been cut to the satisfaction of our code enforcement officer. So we are down to one. This property at Val Green appears to be vacant. And so abatement appears likely, but first we need the declaration of nuisance to proceed.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Martin? Any comments from members of the public? We have a motion and second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? The ayes have it, the motion carries. We'll now move to item number 6, ordinance number 23-2594. Ms. Danielson.
This is an ordinance to adopt a revised zoning map of the city.
Mr. President, I move to adopt ordinance number 23-2594.
Second. I have a motion and second for adoption. Mr. Martin.
Yes, quickly, of course, we had a first reading on this item. There's been no change since then. Again, I'll note that this is not an ordinance rezoning any property. It is merely replacing the last physical official version of the zoning map that we have, which double checked with our city clerk's office. The last physical official zoning map that we had adopted was 1999. So we're well due for a new one. So it's just taking the facts on the ground today, the amount of square mileage we have within our corporate limits and the zoning designations already in place, and giving us a clean snapshot of that.
Very good. Cleanup process in essence.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for Mr. Martin from the members? Any comments tonight from the public? Hearing none, we have Ms. Cynthia Harris with us. I didn't recognize you earlier. Glad to have you serving as our clerk tonight. Madam Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney.
Aye.
Ms. Driver.
Aye.
Mr. Murphy.
Aye.
Dr. Middlebrooks.
Aye.
Mr. McClinton.
Aye.
Mr. Leiter.
Aye. With a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays, the motion carries and the ordinance is adopted. Item number 7 is Resolution 6943-23. Ms. Danielson.
This resolution authorizes the city's participation in the 2023 Back to School Sales Tax Holiday.
Mr. President, I move for the approval of resolution number 6943-23.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Ms. Vogel.
Yes, sir. This is our annual back to school sales tax holiday. It will commence Friday at 12 a.m. July 21st and end at midnight on Sunday, July 23rd.
Any questions from the body for Ms. Vogel on this item? Any public comments tonight? Seeing none, we have a motion and second for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Finally, item number 8, ordinance number 23-2600. Ms. Danielson, pardon me.
This ordinance, levies certain municipal taxes for general and municipal purposes, and provides for the assessment and collection of such taxes for the tax year beginning on October 1st, 2023.
Mr. President, I move for adoption of ordinance number 23-2600.
Second. A motion and a second. Any comments or questions from members of the body on this item? We had a first reading 2 weeks ago, and this is, of course, the second reading and a potential vote. Ms. Bolt, this is just the standard annual?
Yes, sir. It is.
Very good. Any comments tonight from the public? Seeing none, we have a motion and second for approval. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney.
Aye.
Ms. Driver.
Aye.
Mr. Murphy.
Aye.
Dr. Middlebrooks.
Aye.
Mr. McClinton.
Aye.
Mr. Leiter.
Aye. 7 ayes and 0 nays. The motion carries and the ordinance is adopted. We'll now ask, are any council comments? I'd like to commend the city of Hoover for hosting once again an outstanding Regions tradition. The weather was picture perfect till the last 15 minutes, right, Mayor? The heavens opened and there was a slight delay, but the tournament was finished, and every person that works for the city certainly played a hand in that. And of course, our residents rolled out the red carpet for our visitors all across the country who came here to watch professional golf, and we should all take great pride in being the home of that tournament. So we get a slight breather this week, and then baseball comes to town next week, and we all look forward to that. Any other comments tonight from the members of the body? Any public comments tonight? Seeing none, thank you for your attendance. We're adjourned.